channel. Today I'm actually filming a new eyeshadow palette, and I'm sure you probably see from the description of the title of today's video is that I'm going to be using the new Natasha Denona Gold Palette. I never thought that I would ever actually buy a Natasha Denona palette, and I've always seen Tarte or Glam Life Guru use hers, and she absolutely loves them. But I know that there was the mishap with one of the holiday collections. So I just wanted to film this with you guys, do a couple looks. I don't know how many I'm actually going to be able to film, but I wanted to go through this. So then this is the box. And here is the back of the box. And each of the shades are labeled in the back. But then when you take the shadows out of the box, this is the palette. And this is freaking stunning. I am so excited that I actually got my hands on one of these. This is the back. And also, when you open this up, I haven't even touched these yet. So I've been waiting patiently to actually do so. When you open it up, here's the plastic carton for the names of the shades, and also a super big mirror, which I did not peel off the plastic yet. I usually don't peel these off, but maybe I will today. So a really nice mirror. Quite big. And then each of the shades, and then here is the palette itself. And I'm super excited to play with this. So what I'm gonna do is go off camera and do one eye, and then we'll go back and then we'll do the opposite eye. I've done this a few times. If you like me doing those, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will be back. And all my makeup is done and my hair's done too, and I got a new blow dryer finally. I've been looking for blow dryers for a while, and I'm giving the new Dyson hair dryer a try. Not the Airwrap, but actually the blow dryer. I actually got the professional series. So I will be back in just a little bit, and then we can talk about the first look and walk through it. So I'll be back in just a little bit. Alright guys, this is the first look that I came up with the Natasha Denona Gold Palette, and I went for a more of like a brown smoky eye, kind of like something that you could use every day. And then I'm going to progress my way into like more of the colorful looks, but I wanted to do something that you could wear every day and that it won't take very long to do. I did layer a couple of colors just to give a little bit of a dimension into the eye. So we're going to zoom in and we are going to work on this eye. So what I'm going to do first is go into the Natasha Denona palette. So the first shade I went into was Sandstone. And I used a Sigma E40 to do this. And I just picked up a generous amount from the palette. And I'm going a little bit higher, and I did build up the shade a couple of times, and I took my time because I want to see how these things work. These shades are really pretty. So I'm doing windshield motions and also swiping and little circles, and I'm bringing this out higher and further out. Just making sure that those shades are blending together. And I'm going all the way into the inner corner of my eye as well. Tilting my head up. Little circular motions in between. Like so. And I'm not using a lot of pressure on this as either, so that's the nice thing about it. And then I took right below with that same brush. Inner corner to the outer corner. And just slowly building it. Going all the way to the front of my brow bone as well. And below. So I'm going to use the MAC 242 brush, and I'm going into the middle shade, Sparks. And it's not a very reflective shade until you actually pick it up and actually apply it. Wiggling my brush into it. And I'm gonna put this on my brow bone. And then you can see, I don't know if you can really see if the camera's picking it up nice enough. I wonder if I have to just grab my phone. Let me see if I can take with the light on. I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely very glittery looking. And I really like this. It's very subtle, but it works really well. The next shade I'm going into is Teak. So I'm just gradually building up the shades. And I'm going to be using a Sigma F63 brush. And I'm just going literally boop, 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 boop. And that's all I'm using. Building up the outer crease and the inner crease. Or I should say the inner and outer space of my eye. And I'm flipping it over and blending it out like that. And then I'm going back in with that Sigma E40 brush and blending that out, the outer edges, to make sure everything's all blended together. And there is a lot of kickback on these, as you can see on this shade right here, which that doesn't really bother me at all. Lightly blending. And then I'm using a Sigma E25 brush, and I use the shade Log right here, and just tapped in 3 times, tapped off my brush just a little bit, and built up the outer depth of the eye. Like that, and then tapped in inner corner of the eye and blending together. And then I'm going back in with that E40, blending everything out. What I'm going to do next is work on the inner corner, like the center of the eye. And I'm going to be using more of the pressed pigments, and then we'll work on to like the glitter shades as well. The first shade I'm going to use is Varus. And I'm going to use my hand to do this. So I just go with my middle finger just a couple of times and pat it on. Go in with that Sigma E25 brush and lightly pat that into that shade. really excited that I got this palette. It's more something that I would gravitate more, even though that there is a lot of really just out there shades. But you can do a lot of different looks if you just want like a pop in your inner corner or on your lower lash line, and then just leave it very minimal on the top, which I'm really excited to try as well. So after this Vara shade, this shade, I went into the next shade. I went into the shade Alchemist, and again went in with my finger, tapped in a couple of times, and very creamy. Barely just tapped in, I just went in once. And I tapped this on top of that shade. Went back in with the Sigma E25. And on top of it off, I went into the shade Kava. And again, I went in with my finger and pressed that right in on top. So you can see that there's multiple dimensions of shades, which I like to do a lot of that, to build and build. So pretty. I'm just gonna go back in with that E25 again. And then for the last shade, I went in very lightly with Sparks. And it just gives that extra pop depending on which way you are looking at it, and it's just a very nice color. So pretty. See that? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now we're going to work on the lower lash line. So we already took this shade right here, which is Sandstone. And then I'm going to go into Teak, and I'm going to use that F63 brush from Sigma, and we're tapping in, and then I'm going to run this from the inner corner to the outer corner. I'm going to line my waterline, and I'm going to use Costa Riche from MAC, which is a brown, a little bit of like a red into it. And I'm going to run this into the lashes as well. Then I'm going to let my eyes sit for just a second because I do get watery eyes when I do this. I'm going to go back in with that Sigma E40. Using a Sigma E15 brush. This is one of the rose gold ones. I'm going to go in with the shade Log, which is the darkest brown, and I'm going to use a little mirror so I can get this right into my right to my lower lash line in my lashes. And I'm going all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner. And then picking up a little bit more, and I'm going to put this on the upper lash line to meet the lashes to make it darker. Just pressing it in there really softly. Just gives it a little bit of darkness without needing to put a liner in on your lashes. Going to use that Sigma E25 brush, And I'm going to go back in with Teak. And I'm going to run this over the line just to smoke it out. And bring it down a little bit further. And connect it with the upper outer corner. I'm gonna go in with some mascara, and I'm using the NARS Climax mascara. And I have been really liking this mascara a lot too. It doesn't clump up and it doesn't, you know, crumble off on my cheeks and stuff, so I have been really liking this. So this is the look without lashes, which is totally fine if you want to do something like this for an everyday or a quick just little smoky eye if you want to run to work. But I'm actually trying out a new pair of lashes, and they are from Ace Beauty. And this is the style Ellie. And they are a little bit long for me, so I do have to trim them down just a little bit. Using that green duo glue still. I love this stuff. It works really well for me. And let's put these little guys on. Oh, it's actually pretty easy to put these on. So this is what the eyes look like. I'm gonna go in to Sparks, and I'm going to use a MAC 242 brush, and I'm gonna put this in the inner corner of my eyes. Just to brighten it up, as I'm not putting a highlight in here. Going in with a clean brush. And I'm going to zoom out, and then I'm going to apply a lipstick. For lip liner, I'm going to be using MAC, and this is Oak. And I'm going to line my lips. This is actually the first time ever using Oak, even though I hear about it all the time. Just never bought it. Just overdrawing just a little bit. And then I'm going to be using the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in Driver, but I do like wearing this shade a lot, even though I don't film with it often, but it is very pretty and smells super good. And then I'm gonna blend this in with my finger. Going to use the PUR lip gloss in DIY to make it that extra little poutiness. And then to finish this off, I'm going to use the Skindinavia, the makeup finishing spray, something that I use all the time in every single tutorial when it goes to makeup, just to set my face so that I make sure that this lasts all day long. And I'm just going to hold my hair back a little bit and give her a spray. Okay guys, this is the final look for number 1, using more of the brown shades out of the Natasha Denona palette. And these are really, really nice. This is the palette, and I really do like this. Even though this palette is $129, $129 for this palette. But I think that you will get a lot of uses out of this palette, from just neutral looks to colored looks. And I'm a sucker for both, and especially with fall, I am really excited to use it. These lashes that I got, these Ace Beauty lashes in Ellie, are amazing. I like how they are not very voluminous, but they do make my lashes stand out. They are really, really pretty, easy to use. Literally just plopped them on, and that's what we needed to do, as you've seen, watch me do it. So I hope you guys enjoy look number 1 using this palette. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure that you do hit that bell for notifications. Leave me any comments in the comment section below, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll be starting on look number 2. Bye guys! Alright, swatches for the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. And I'm going to swatch these from top to bottom. Okay, so my swatches are not that great, but these are the shades in the palette, which are really, really pretty, and they are very pigmented. The first one here is called Lime Chrome. The second one is Python. This little one that you can barely see is called Sparks. The next one next to it is called Kava. Second row is Aurora. This one is Dijon, Oral, Log, and Varus. And the last row is Brass, Sandstone, Alchemist, Teak, and Arum. So these are all of the shades from left to right. Very pretty.